When it comes down
to feminine nature or female nature, however you want to call it, pagans have a far better understanding than those who go to church. And this lack of understanding on behalf of those that claim to follow Christ is detrimental to our walk by faith as well as to the human species in general. Look, there are some things you need to know because you are a human being. That implies you are a spirit being. And as a spirit being, you need to know, first of all, that you are a spirit being, and you need to understand that both males and females, both genders, are spiritual. So, you have a physical body. The male physical body is different than the female physical body. And those differences are obvious. Today, where there's this trendy thing going on, you may be confused on a visual level, but even then, when you examine it carefully, you'll recognize clearly whether it's a male or a female. Now, as spirit beings, there are also differences. And if there are key understandings of the feminine nature as spirit beings that you're not aware of, anyone can use this knowledge against you. And this is done to women by the world, as also done to men. There's one thing about feminine nature that I don't hear many people discuss. And when they do discuss it, it's in a negative context on how to exploit women. And women are exploited, don't get me wrong, it happens. It's this one thing about the woman's design, how the Most High designed her, that people often overlook. And that is that the woman is always craving psychic income. I've spoken about psychic income before. Or you can call it psychological revenue, if you want to use a scientific term. But I'm going to call it psychic income. What is psychic income? Psychic income is when someone receives approval for being there. Now you may think, what? Come on, Rashid. Are you kidding me? You may think that now that I'm saying this, but just hear me out. The female is designed to crave psychic income. Why? She is designed to crave investment from men. The first man she craves attention from. Not just attention, but also investment from. There's a difference between attention and an investment. Someone can give you attention, but it doesn't mean they're investing in you. Let me give an example. You may have a playboy that comes around and he wants to sexually exploit you. He's not investing in you. He just wants to relieve himself at your expense. But someone that invests in you, looks after you, coaches you, pushes you in the right direction. So, you get what I'm saying. The female craves male investment. The first investment she craves is that of her father. Whether it's her stepdad or biological dad, she craves a father figure at a very young age. And this is the primary craving of every female. To have a strong but gentle male around that she feels comfortable being around. That is the first craving of every female. The second is to have big brother figures around. Other males who are also strong, who are also masculine, who are also fierce. All men are fierce by design. But she craves men, just like her dad, who are comfortable in their fierceness as males for her benefit. That's the second craving a woman has. The third one is to have male associates. Those are men that are around, but those men aren't really that involved with her, but they are around as an extension of their male network. And the fourth craving is to have a husband. So let's go through it again. The first craving is a father. The second is a big brother or big brothers. The third one are male associates that are safe. And the fourth one is a husband. And that's where also sexual investment comes. So before it comes to the physical sex, there's a lot of emotional and mental cravings that come first. That's how the woman is designed. So if a woman had a stable father or a stable father figure, and she also had stable brothers around, it doesn't have to be a biological sibling, it can also be a cousin or just males who function as brother figures. Then she'll easily detect other men that are safe also, and fourth, she will cling onto a man that serves as her husband. That's how the woman is designed. She craves psychic income. She cannot operate nor function without it. Does this mean that the woman is a junkie? No. Because in God's design, the woman would receive psychic income for free anyway. But due to the fall of men, women tend to become anxious in the world because many of the men also are not functioning according to their design. A lot of the men exploit women, harm women, or neglect women. A lot of men neglect themselves also. So now there's disharmony, there's the dysfunction and defects in the human species. So this craving for psychic income of the woman also becomes defect. But that doesn't mean that this craving for psychic income in itself is wrong. It's not narcissistic, it's not bad, it's not evil. It's just part of her design. Now, why is it important to understand this? Because when you don't understand this, you'll get into a lot of misunderstandings when you're involved with women and women themselves. And that's why female believers are making this series. Women themselves will be confused internally about who and what they are. And when a woman is confused about what and who she is, it's there that demons come in. Why do you think Satan approached Eve and not Adam? Because Satan knows this about the design of the woman, and he realized, I can use this creature if I can just trick her into confusion of what and who she is. And that's what Satan did, and the same thing he's doing over and over again. That is why cults love to use women in the front. Because cults know that women crave psychic income. They know it. And they know that most of the women walking the earth today, that they are defective or dysfunctional because they're not in line with Christ. So cults know, okay, most of the women out there are defective or dysfunctional. So what will we do? We, who have knowledge of their design, we will use this knowledge to trick them into sponsoring our cult. Because they know the women are dysfunctional and defective anyway. So they trigger those dysfunctions and those defects, and the woman, without her being aware of it, she becomes attached to this group. And once she's attached to this group, she becomes an extension of the group. And this is something that happens very quickly. And once she's an extension of the group, now she will turn into a covert witch. The reason I say covert witch, because she's not aware that it's witchcraft she's now using. She'll turn into a covert witch, recruiting others for the group. So it's misusing the knowledge of how the woman operates by design. That is what they do in the world. Why do you think that at those car dealerships, when they're exposing the new designs, they put half-naked women over there? Some people say, well, it's to attract attention of men. Yeah, that's true. But look at it differently. The female craves psychic income. And putting her over there, half-naked, and everyone giving attention to her, and she's serving the purpose of her male employer, that triggers her core need for psychic income. And because the core need, I'm not saying it's satisfied, but because the core need is supplied for, she forgets the context. And this is what happens with worldly women all the time. Now, some of them become alert, but often it's way too late. Why do you think that the formal dress code for women in the corporate world is witchy or slutty? Either it's witchy by them dressing like men, or it's slutty, where they kind of suggest that they want sexual attention. Why is that? Why is there not a modest business style for women? Why does it have to be either a sodomite image or a slutty image? It is because the modest image does not trigger much attention in the world. It's the weird, it's the abnormal that triggers attention. So the woman designed to crave psychic income, noticing that it's the weird or the abnormal that triggers attention and therefore also investment, because to receive investment there must be attention first. So you have to be noticed. And the female is designed to seek attention, first of males and also from other females. So attention seeking in itself, there's nothing wrong with it. It's feminine, it's natural, it's healthy. But again, due to the fallen state of mankind, this attention seeking often turns into attention whoring. And most people, unfortunately also most female believers, don't know the difference between attention seeking and attention whoring. So when does this craving for psychic income become toxic? This craving for psychic income becomes toxic once the female loses sight of the context. And this happens very quickly. So, believers, it's very, very important for us to understand these things. Because if a woman doesn't know what and who she is, how can she be powerful and effective in what and who she is if she doesn't even know or realize what and who she is? So, in the world, women are told they're something that they're actually not. And now, because those women are indoctrinated into something they're not, they're now in conflict with who they really are as female spirit beings. And this conflict itself causes tension. And later this tension is exploited by providing narcissistic relief. And narcissistic relief is a substitute for healthy psychic income. Let me repeat that. Narcissistic relief is a substitute for healthy psychic income. The man also craves psychic income, but to a very less degree. The female is designed to have a social support system in which she receives healthy psychic income. So a female, by design, will seek harmony with the community. Well, this seeking harmony with the community, as I mentioned before, doesn't always end up in harmony due to the fallen state of mankind. Nevertheless, it's in her design. So now you will also understand envy between women. This is also something that's not often discussed, that often women envy one another, and tend to turn on one another. Why is that? Why does this happen in the world? It's very simple. Though to the fall of men, there is defect and dysfunction in the human species. Also, many of the men are not functioning properly as they should as men. So, all of this causes females to become anxious. Why? Because, as I mentioned before, the female craves a father, then she craves brothers, then she craves associates, and then she craves a husband. She doesn't come out of the womb craving a husband. No, there is her father, then brothers, then associates, and then her husband. So the husband, the sexual part, is the fourth stage. There are 3 stages before that. If it goes wrong with the first stage, the father, you guarantee it will go wrong with the other stages. If it goes wrong with the father, but there's no brother figure to correct it, then it will go wrong with the third, and if it goes wrong with the third, it will go wrong with the fourth. A lot of women crave a husband thinking that it will undo the first 3 stages that went wrong. That's not how it works. But that is the lie of romanticism. That's the lie of Disney. That's the lie of Prince Charming. If you just find the right guy, you'll be fine, you'll be complete, and you won't have to face anything anymore. It's a scam, ladies. Do not fall for it. So, women in their fallen state, they notice that psychic income of a healthy quality is scarce. And because of this, in their minds, anytime another woman gets good psychic income, that means there's less for them. Because worldly people, whether a worldly individual is a male or female, they have a black and white thinking. They think in opposites. They think in exclusive terms. So, a being like that, with a black and white thinking, whose mindset is fear-based, when they see someone else receiving good supply, that means there's less for them. And if there's less for them, that means that they will die. It means that they're not taken care of. It means that they will be rejected. It means that they will be forfeited. And that is something that women by default are avoiding. That's being alone, being forgotten. As I mentioned before, the female always craves psychic income. Now, worldly women, they crave psychic income at everyone's expense, unless they are directed by society. Believers, I'm talking about female believers now, they also crave psychic income because it's part of their design, but their psychic income is in line with Christ. So understand the difference. A woman in her fallen state craves psychic income at everyone's expense because she is focused on herself. Of course, she wants harmony with the community, but the harmony with the community is primarily about her. A female believer also craves psychic income, which is healthy and natural, so she craves for it, but she only wants the psychic income that will glorify her Heavenly Father and that will actually benefit the community for real. The worldly woman doesn't even concern herself with whether the income she receives, I'm talking about the psychic income, benefits the community. The community is second for her. So it's her getting supply, then the community has to be in line so that she's at ease, and as third, you have her husband. That's how it goes with a worldly woman. With a female believer, it's the Heavenly Father who's at the center, that she relies on completely. Then you have the community, and as part of the community, you have the husband, and there she is, being taken care of by the community. So you see that the way a worldly woman functions, and the way a female believer functions is the complete opposite. The one has a toxic self-focus, and the other has a healthy esteem of herself. Why does the one has a healthy esteem of herself? Because she knows what and who she is. So she can use what and who she is to the benefit of her community. And being received well by the community, this is healthy psychic income. And because she has no black and white thinking, she won't become envious or jealous of anyone else. And because of that, she has no urge to control other people, especially not her husband. Sexual control is a byproduct of the fall of men, and it's a plague that afflicts worldly women. And that is why you have so much envying going on amongst females. And often this envying will turn into homicide. Yes, worldly women can turn into raging wolves on other women when they feel threatened by the psychic income another woman receives. So understand that attention seeking and the craving for psychic income, those two qualities, they're natural. There's nothing wrong with them. They are core ingredients of what it means to be a female. But that does not mean that every type of attention or investment is healthy and is sanctioned and approved by Christ. So, I wanted to record this video to inform you about this, so that you will understand social dynamics better. Lack of knowledge in this era is lethal and fatal. That is why you have so much domestic violence out there. That's why you have so much sexual dysfunction and sexual defects going on. That's why you have many that perish due to lack of knowledge. So, female believers, embrace what and who you are. Do not try to be something God never designed you to be. Well, that's it for now. Keep agreeing with Christ